Thanks for tuning in, guys. Let's do week 5 NFL predictions in 5 minutes or less. We went 11-4 in our picks last week. We're going to start the week with the Bears at the Commanders. The Commanders played really good against the Eagles last week. Sam Howell came out of his shell. He looked a lot better. The Bears are still absolutely terrible, especially on the road. Commanders get that winning record and move to 3-2. Next, we move to the Jaguars at the Bills, but this game is in London, so there's no real home field advantage. I don't think the Jaguars are consistent enough, and the Bills defense shut down that high-powered Dolphins offense last week. The Bills are going to get the W 27-17. Next, we have the Texans traveling to Atlanta to play the Falcons. The Texans really surprised me last week. CJ Stroud is doing a great job protecting the football. 1,200 yards on the season, 6 touchdowns, no picks. I like the stability of the Houston Texans offense and a pretty good defense to go on the road to beat the Falcons 17-10. Next, we have the 0-4 Panthers on the road against the Detroit Lions. The Lions are really coming into their own. I don't see any chance the Panthers have in this game. They're very inconsistent. Can't protect the passer. Miles Sanders has been MIA. I like the Lions here. 31-13. Next, we have the Jekyll and Hyde Tennessee Titans versus the Indianapolis Colts, are overachieving right now. They lost to the Rams last week, but they could have had that game won. They let it slip away. And the Titans absolutely blew the brakes off the Bengals in a surprise win. So we'll see where this offense goes, but they're very bad on the road. And both their road losses, they got absolutely blown out. So I like the Colts to win this game 23-20. Next, we have the Giants. I'm sorry for laughing, but the Giants are so bad. They suck. Oh, man, it's so funny. They looked so bad last week. It was an absolute abomination. The Seahawks let up 300 yards passing in their first 3 games, and the Giants got sacked 9 times and got blown out. The Dolphins are going to win this game easily, 27-7. Then we move on to the Saints at the Patriots. This is going to be a very tough game, and the line suggests that. The New England Patriots are -1 point favorites because they're the home team. They look terrible. Mac Jones sucks. He's horrible. He can't throw the ball outside the numbers. He can't do anything. He gets sacked. He's slow. He has terrible decision making. He's got a weak arm. I think the Saints defense is going to overwhelm them, and I look for the Saints to win a close game 17-13. Then we move on to a division rivalry game between the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Kenny Pickett, we don't know if he's going to play or not. He hurt his knee last week. I think Mike Tomlin said he is practicing. I like the Ravens to get right against the Steelers. The Steelers defense is very good, but their offense is going to have trouble scoring points, and the Ravens defense is very good, so they're going to swarm Kenny Pickett or Trubisky, whoever the quarterback is there. I like the Ravens to win a really close game here, 17-14. Next up, we have one of my favorite games of the week. I'm actually going to this game, guys. I'm going to be streaming it live from SoFi Stadium. The Eagles go on the road to take on the 2-2 Rams. Stafford and Puka Nacua have been unbelievable this year. They're killing it, but Stafford only 3 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. That's not great, even though he has thrown for almost 1,300 yards. But I think the Eagles' defensive line is going to be too much for the Rams. The Rams don't run the ball really at all. They ran for over 100 yards last week, but the 3 weeks before that, they've really struggled to get the running game going. The Eagles' defensive line is so strong. I look for a bounce back performance after that terrible performance against the Washington Redskins last week. I like the Eagles to win this game 24-20. The next game, we have 2 lowly 1-3 teams, the 1-3 Bengals and the 1-3 Cardinals. But the 1-3 Cardinals look a lot more symbiotic and a lot more of a team than the 1-3 Bengals. The locker room seems to be getting lost there. Jamar Chase is unhappy. The offensive line is absolute dumpster fire, and Joe Burrow is a pirate playing on one leg. I like the Cardinals to win this game 21-17. Next, we have another abomination game between the Jets and the Broncos, 2 1-3 teams. The Broncos finally got a W last week. Russell Wilson, if you look at just the numbers, 1,000 yards, 9 touchdowns to 2 interceptions, it looks really good, but they're not playing as a team. The Broncos defense is really bad, so we'll see how Zach Wilson performs, but I like the Broncos to win at home to move to 2-3. I think the Jets are going to struggle to score points all season. Zach Wilson played better last week, but I don't like him here. I like the Broncos at home, 23-10. Then we have the Chiefs on the road at Minnesota. Minnesota likes to blitz a lot, and everyone knows what happens if you blitz Patrick Mahomes. You get torched. I like the Chiefs to move to 4-1, 27-17. The Vikings are struggling. Cousins is going to throw for 4,000 or 5,000 yards this year. It doesn't matter how many yards he throws for because he's going to continue to lose football games. And then we move on to Sunday Night Football, the game of the week between the Cowboys and the 49ers. The Cowboys are on the road. They had a big bounce back win last week, and the 49ers have been extremely dominant. Christian McCaffrey leads the league in touchdowns, leads the league in rushing yards, 459. He's an absolute savage. I like McCaffrey and the 49ers to get a W in a pretty close game, 27-24. 49ers. And then Monday night, we have the Packers versus the lowly Raiders. It's hard for me to pick the Raiders. They do have good playmakers, Jacobs and Adams, but they just can't get it right. Oh man, this is tough. Screw it. I'm going to go with the Raiders at home to beat a young, inexperienced Packers team. Let's say 21-20 Raiders. And thanks for tuning in to all the weekly picks under 5 minutes. We had a great week last week, 11-3. Let's see if we can do better this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate all you guys. Like, subscribe. We'll catch you next week. Peace.